Right, and so the questions for the high-level programming paradigms are. So what I'm going to do, the way I'm doing this is I have that question on the screen, then I will reveal the answers. So pause the video now if you want to have a go at it. So describe the difference between declarative language and procedural language. So going to do probably some advantages and disadvantages maybe. So describe what it is, yeah. So just describe the differences. So declarative states what is required. Procedural describes how to solve a problem. Describe features of a procedural high-level language. So high-level languages include procedural and object-oriented object-oriented languages. Describe the features of a procedural high-level language. Imperative language uses sequence, selection, and iteration. Programs state what to do and how to do it. Program statements are in blocks. Each block is a procedure or function. Not really sure what the max bit is. So I've seen that before. So then another thing is logic of program is given as a series of procedural calls. Pause the video now if you want to have a go at this. So the table below shows statements about types of programming languages. Tick the boxes to show the type of programming languages for which statement is correct. So I'm just going to do this all at once. So here we go. So data is only accessible through methods, and that is OO. So object oriented. Well, I guess it's object orientated. Then each instruction usually represents one machine code instruction, low level. Inheritance may be used in object oriented. Local variables may be used, that is both the object oriented and the procedural. Mnemonics are used within low level languages. Explain why universal modern language is used. I was saying about is a standard way to present information and to illustrate the design of a system in a visual manner so it's easy to understand. It allows system analysts, programmers and clients to communicate. It makes system maintenance easier when modifying a system. Right, so same again, pause the video if you want to go at this. So a UML class diagram shows some of the information about staff working in a health centre. So staff member, staff ID, surname, then doctor, nurse. Nurse has the days worked, receptionist has the hourly rate. Use the class diagram above to explain the term inheritance. So a class that has all the attributes and operations of its superclass and may also have attributes and operations of its own. For example, an object of class. The nurse has surname from staff members. In addition, it has the days worked. Another example you could have given was the receptionist, saying that the receptionist has the surname from the staff member, in addition the hourly rate. So using the same class diagram, Dr. Connor is a doctor at the health centre. From the diagram, explain why his attributes include surname but do not include hourly rate. Is it because it's not inherited? So Dr. Connor is an inheritance of doctor. Surname is inherited from staff member. Hourly rate is not an attribute of doctor or of staff member. alleyway is an attribute of receptionist, which is not a superclass for doctor. It's just 2 marks, wow. Using the same thing, cleaning staff should be included in the class diagram. A cleaner needs the attributes hourly, hours works, and operations get hours. Show this information on a suitable class diagram. So you'll just be adding in, just doing it like this. So got cleaner, hours works, then get hours underneath though. So you've got the activity or so, then the actual class. Miss Jones is employed as a cleaner at the same health centre. The following program code may be used. One cleaner equals cleaner new. One cleaner dot give surname is Jones. Use the information given to explain the term object and class. Give an example of each. So an object is an instance of a class, a real-world entity, which holds attributes and methods. So that's the one cleaner and or Mrs. Jones. A class, a template for a set of objects that have state and behaviour. So cleaner, staff member, doctor, nurse and receptionist. Probably good though if you do stick with the cleaner from the actual code itself. So I'll probably get like an instance of a class is a real-world entity, so a real-world entity that holds attributes and methods. An example of this is the one cleaner. Then a class, a set of objects that have state and behaviour. So I would do, for example, a cleaner. Oh wait, you have to get 3 for each, don't you? Yeah, so try and get as many as you can. The council provides a number of public libraries. Information about library staff is to be stored. All staff work at just one library and are paid an annually salary. These names and contact deals must be stored. For each librarian, their qualification must be stored. One senior librarian is in charge of each library. For this responsibility, they are paid an extra fee. Cleaning staff also work at each library. Each cleaner works only on certain days of the week, so the days need to be sorted. Draw a UML class diagram to show the information about library staff. You should include all the information given. Here we go. So, I didn't really plan this out. So if I go back, so I'm going to keep this from back. So staff member, you need their ID, their name, their contact, their library, and their salary. And then another below the line, there's the get set method. Then, so the 2 subclasses or whatever the below things. So there's a subclass which is a staff member. Then library and cleaner, so librarian, qualifications, and then get or set methods. Cleaner, days worked, get set methods. Then a senior librarian is underneath the librarian, so it inherits stuff from the librarian. So all you'll need to include is the fee, and then you also will need to include the get/set methods. The Universal Modern Language, UML, so class diagrams. So UML class diagram is used to show registered vehicles in this country. The diagram is incomplete. State where the classes car and moped should be added to the diagram and give a reason for your answer. So you may draw on the diagram. So it's actually instead of redrawing the whole thing, just draw on the existing diagram. So at the same level as, so here we go. So at the same level as lorry, as they are subclasses of vehicle, so they inherit. So I would probably actually do both the reasons. So at the same level, these are at the same level as lorry, as they are a subclass of the vehicle they inherit. So there's the car, lorry, and then moped. So using the same class diagram, the registration number should be stored. State which class should store the registration number and give a reason for your answer. Well, since everything has a registration, it will be in vehicle, as it is the superclass, as other classes are subclasses, so all vehicles have the property. So you state what the vehicle is, so the registration will go on the vehicle, since it is the superclass, and I would probably just say it is a superclass, since so all the subclasses will inherit that class, will inherit the classes of their vehicle. Company sells used cars. Part of the diagram for used car is shown, so used car X, then within Y there's the model, engine type, price and status, then Z, set price and change status. State one method, so an operations shown in the diagram. So that would be, so one method, so set price or change status, so that is Z. Then state one attribute or property shown on the diagram is the model or engine type, price or status, so that is all within Y. Now state in which section of the diagram X, Y or Z year of manufacture should be shown. So you've got the, if you've got the above ones right, so you know that the one method is Z, then the attribute is Y. So year of manufacture is an attribute, so Y. The following represents a class diagram for a shop with sections labelled X, Y and Z. So X, staff members, staff ID, data department is within Y, then Z is get department. State the meaning of each section of the diagram. X is the class name, Y is the attribute for the class, Z is the operations for the class. Explain the meaning of the ellipsis in section Z. That is also in section Y, but just say it in section Z. So there are more operations available, the others have been aligned. These simplify the diagram, only relevant operations are shown. The diagram shows details of a used car. So there's the available for sale, deposit paid, then being sold, and then it terminates. So give the correct name for this type of UML diagram. Oh, what is this? State diagram. State the meaning of the symbol. So the circle without the X, so that is the entry point. Then the symbol, with the circle with the X in the middle, is the exit point. Unified Modeling Language sequence diagrams show what happens when a driver uses a remote control key to unlock his car. So breakdown. So driver, so get the button pressed, so then the key, then process key, it processes the key message in the car, it then unlocks, so the flashlights flash. So state a message, and that is the get button press or process key message or unlock, so things with the brackets. State a class diagram, the driver, key and car, so that is just the things within the boxes with the colons at the start. The signal is the flashlights, as it's what signals the, well, it tells the flashlights to flash, doesn't it? So yeah, so another type of UML diagram included within the sequence diagram is object diagram. At the entrance to a car park, a car driver has to stop at the barrier and press a button on the ticket machine. The machine issues a ticket to the driver, then raises the barrier to allow the car to enter. This is shown on the UML diagram below. The diagram is incomplete. Give the correct name for this type of UML diagram. This is a communication diagram. So next question, so using the same diagram, you've got to add arrows and labels to the diagram above to show that it shows the process described. Do not add any extra features which are not described. So what you've got to do is add in all the arrows and label them correctly by what it is. So answer is that. So first thing you do, so from machine button, there's the issue ticket command, which is sent to the ticket. The ticket, so that then the driver gets the ticket from the ticket. Then it goes back down, so the driver then goes back down to the machine button, then to the raise barrier, The following statement uses a language where facts and rules state what to do, but not how to do it. So, cat is a Tom, so Tom is a cat, Leo is a cat, Snow is a cat, then Jerry is a mouse. So, something chases, so A chases B. So, chases, so A, B. If cat is the A and mouse is B, chase X and Y, then you got to find out who chases X and Y. So part of the solution, give the correct name for this type of programming language. Declarative. Give one example of a fact. That is the cat Tom. So you just got to say one of them. Now you've got to give one example of a rule. And that is, I think that's the chases A, chases A, B, if cat A and mouse B, yes, that's stating what things need to be. Give one example of goal, and that is chases X, Y, so that's what they need to solve. So, the question. Give one example of an instance, and that I've completely forgotten what that is, and that is set X to equals Tom. Oh, so it's set in a certain item. So find X equals Tom, then it needs to set X equals Tom. Explain the term backtracking and give one example of backtracking. After finding a solution to a goal, it goes back and follows an alternate path to attempt to find another solution. So from the example, it would be after step 6, step 7 is the same as step 1. So step 7 is the same as step 1, so it goes back. It's like, there's a bit of a loop. Declarative language is used to give information about a number of shapes that have straight edges. Flat A, shape A is flat, then flat B, solid C, so shape C is solid, equal A, so edges of shape A are all of equal length, edges A 3, shape A has 3 edges, edges B, so B has 4 edges, and triangle X, flat X, edge X 3. So state the meaning of backtracking and instance. So this has actually already come up. So let's see. Going back to a previously found successful match. Now an instance, given a variable in a statement of value. From the information given, show how a solution to the query, so triangle T, are found. T is A, so flat A. Edges A. So edges A, 3, succeeds, so A. Then T equals B, so flat B. Edges B are 3, it fails. No further definition for flat. So you've got to find out what T is. So the triangle. So yeah. So you've got to like import each thing, go line by line pretty much. So using the same notation, define the shape pent, which is a flat shape with 5 equal edges of equal length. Pent X, then flat X. So you just got to do, so X is probably just like a random number, or what you need to find. So a fill-in area. So pent X equals, so flat X equals X, comma 5. So all terms included in any order. So you've got to include those terms, but within any order. So then correct notation throughout. Those are what you're marked on then. Alright, thanks for watching this video. The next topic is the programming techniques. And as you notice, I'm a bit behind on the schedule.